the most powerful to hit the city this year. Wow! Woo! Storm surge just there. Very, very powerful. You can taste the seawater. Typhoon Vergasa is currently hitting Hong Kong right now, and it's at its peak, and we're right in the heart of it. And you can tell just how powerful the storm is by the fact that I can't even really stand upright right now. The winds are measuring at about 100 miles per hour, and it's causing the rain to come in sideways and just completely pelt my face. And right now I'm by Hong Kong Harbor, and if you take a look over there, you can see sea swells and storm surges. And the Hong Kong Observatory, which is the city's main weather forecaster, has warned that these storm surges can go up to 4 meters in height. And you can tell that by just looking at the sea right now. It looks very, very dangerous. And some of this water is coming onto this walkway here. Wow. And hitting this walkway and splashing us. Now, whoo! And again, the Hong Kong government has warned residents to just stay inside because this is a very powerful typhoon. Now, Hong Kong has issued its highest warning level to its residents to, again, just stay inside, hunker down, and residents have really taken that advice to heart, have bought supplies at supermarkets and stayed indoors. Schools have also been closed for 2 days, and non-essential businesses have also been ordered to remain shut. Now, climate change, which is a human-caused disaster, is causing these storms to be more extreme and unpredictable.
I think that part of where we are now in terms of thinking about what the fight is, it requires us, yes, to understand that we've got this administration and this president in front of us abusing the power that the people vested him with. But we also need to understand that this is bigger than Donald Trump. You know, part of what I write about, this stuff is decades in the making, Rachel. It didn't just happen overnight. You know, so much of what has indeed overwhelmed people, not to mention just scared the stuff out of people, is what we are witnessing is a high velocity event.
Yeah.
We are witnessing something that has been happening so rapidly, and it feels chaotic. But what I would offer you is what we are witnessing is the swift implementation of a plan that was decades in the making. Decades in the making. Project 2025 didn't just drop out of thin air. That's a product of decades of work. Federalist Society, Heritage Foundation. Understand that the implementation of a plan that's about trying to get rid of the Department of Education, deregulate industries, weaken the rule of law by over a period of time, creating a system and through gerrymandering states so that we would now have the Supreme Court that we have. This stuff didn't happen overnight. And it did not happen just because of an election in 2024 or even 2016. So when we talk about where the fight must go, there is the aspect of it that is about the immediate moment, such as the weight of the federal government being used to silence critics, citizens. And it must be about understanding that this did not just happen overnight, and we have to pay attention to an agenda that is not going to necessarily go away when this guy is finally termed out of office.
I don't think what I have to say is going to make much of a difference. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. I have no illusions about changing anyone's mind. But I do want to make something clear because it's important to me as a human, and that is you understand that it was never my intention to make light of the murder of a young man. I posted a message on Instagram on the day he was killed, sending love to his family and asking for compassion, and I meant it, and I still do. If you're just joining us, we are preempting your regularly scheduled encore episode of Celebrity Family Feud to bring you this special report. I'm happy to be here tonight with you. I'm not sure who had a weirder 48 hours, me or the CEO of Tylenol. Some that I do especially want to mention are my fellow late night talk show hosts, my friend Stephen Colbert, who's found himself in this predicament. My friends Jon Stewart, Seth Meyers, Jimmy Fallon, John Oliver. This is a giant company. We have short attention spans, and I am a tiny part of the Disney Corporation. They welcomed me back on the air, and I thank them for that. The President of the United States made it very clear he wants to see me and the hundreds of people who work here fired from our jobs. Our leader celebrates Americans losing their livelihoods because he can't take a joke.
New COVID-19 variant is spreading across the country. COVID XFG is growing or likely growing in 9 states, the CDC says, and there are new rules for getting the COVID vaccine, along with new confusion about other vaccines following a meeting of advisors chosen by HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy. CBS's Christian Benavides in Delray Beach, Florida, has more.
Parents are navigating mixed messaging from federal and state officials, and that's having a real impact inside doctors' offices. Confusion at this Fort Myers, Florida pediatrician's office.
What are your plans for future vaccines?
We're not too sure yet.
First-time father Brandon Gonzalez, who's also a nurse practitioner, decided against vaccinating his newborn for hepatitis B, which the CDC currently recommends be done at birth.
We're not entirely sure what route we're going to go yet.
Good morning.
Pediatrician David Butler worries some families are making vaccine decisions based on politics or online research. And what goes through your mind as a medical professional?
It's difficult because me, myself, all of my colleagues, all we want to do is provide the best care we can for your child. They have their minds made up before they come in.
Now parents have more to consider. Last week, the panel that advises the CDC on vaccines voted to stop recommending the COVID-19 vaccines for everybody, leaving it up to individuals. No prescription required. It also recommended the chickenpox vaccine be separated from the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine for toddlers, and indefinitely delayed a vote that would have moved the hepatitis B shot from birth to 1 month. But many states are now disregarding CDC recommendations. 7, led by Democrats in the Northeast, formed a coalition this past week. 4 states make up a new West Coast Health Alliance, both government groups encouraging widespread vaccinations. Meanwhile, Florida's Surgeon General wants to roll back vaccine mandates altogether. Are we going to see more sick kids in Florida?
You've got to expect to.
That's what concerns Marcella Farah.
It's a little dangerous to not get vaccines.
Whose 2-year-old is up to date with her vaccines and was getting her flu shot. What have other parents told you?
Everybody's a little bit more confused, but I think a lot of people are still very strong in their own beliefs.
And vaccination rates are dropping. Surveys by the Kaiser Family Foundation found since 2019, the number of kindergartners vaccinated against polio and the measles has dropped below the recommended levels to prevent community transmission.
Could U.S. users get a brand new TikTok app and a completely different feed? As part of a government deal over TikTok, the algorithm is going to be copied and retrained using U.S. data, according to the White House. There's been a long battle over the app in America, with concerns that U.S. user data could be shared with the Chinese government, which TikTok and parent company ByteDance denied. At one point, a law was passed meaning that ByteDance would either have to find a U.S.-approved buyer for the app or shut down. Now, President Trump's team says a deal is done. Tech giant Oracle will have control of the U.S. version of TikTok, control of the algorithm, and store the data of U.S. users. And the White House says it is looking for patriotic investors and board members to be involved. Trump says China has approved the deal, but there has been no public statement. ByteDance and TikTok have not commented, but in a statement they thanked Xi and Trump for their efforts to preserve TikTok in the United States.